Hi, this is Eric Martin, news editor at Board Game Geek, and I'm here at the Hilton in Columbus, Ohio, because there's been a fire alarm at the Columbus Convention Center, and Origins 2013 is on hold right now. But I can still bring you a preview of William Adia's Spyrium, coming in France from Istari, coming from Asmodee elsewhere, because I've absconded with a copy. Okay, I hope they don't mind. So, the goal of the game is to get the most points. You have a point track here. Whoever has the most points at the end of the game wins. The game lasts 6 rounds. Each round there's going to be 9 cards put out for play. Cards come in 3 types. There are buildings, okay, which have a cost in the right-hand corner, which sometimes have a victory point amount in the left-hand corner, and have an action on the bottom, possibly an icon on the card. There are people, okay, who have some sort of icon on the bottom, and there are special ability cards, which have a special ability and usually end-game scoring on them. So the basics of each round is going to go in 2 phases, but people are not necessarily going to be in the same phase at the same time, because you can choose when you switch from phase 1 to phase 2. In phase 1, you are placing guys on the board. Everyone starts with 3 guys and 8 money and 2 crystals. Okay, you're going to place guys on the board, or you're going to use a special power. There's 7 special powers that are available. There's 1 that comes up each round, so you're not going to see all of them each game. They're going to be in different order each game, just like all the cards are different order, and lots of other various things are going to happen to change things up. When you're placing guys on the board, you're actually placing them in the alleyway between cards, not on a card itself. So this guy is saying, I'm interested in either of these 2 cards, or I'm interested in money. We'll get to that in a moment. Other people are going to place tokens down on the board. You can place where someone else has already placed. You can place where you've already placed. I could go here if I want. Okay. People are going to take time. You only have 3 guys in the first round, so you don't have too many to place. You can pass if you want, in a sense, by I'm going to take this action. I'm going to return a crystal. I get 3 money. Money is extremely tight. I did one 4-player game of this. So I pass, and now other people go and they do their stuff. At any time, you can choose to switch to phase 2. So let's pretend more guys go on the board. Oh, they're already on the board. And we switch to phase 2. Now I can pick guys up. I can still use this card if I haven't already. It can only be used once, as indicated by the tokens here. Or I can use the power of a building that I've acquired. So people, when you use the power of a person, it just stays on the board and anyone else can use it. The special powers in the buildings, when you pay the price, you add them to your area, your playing area here. Okay. The cost of a building is the amount in the upper right-hand corner plus an amount for each building that you already have. So the first building I have is this amount plus nothing. The next building I have is this amount plus 1. And then this amount plus 2, plus 3, plus 4, plus so on. Okay. You can build buildings on top of other buildings. All right. So if I buy this building here, I can put it on top. So I don't pay the extra amount for sprawling outward, but I lose the power of this building, whatever it was. Okay. If there is an icon on a card, such as this pick, and then I build on top of one pick building with another pick building, you get a discount of 2 off whatever the total cost of it is. So you get rewarded. Hopefully you're upgrading to better buildings. Now, how do you actually go about picking up your guys and doing stuff? When you pick up a guy, you can choose to do either card that's next to it, or you can choose to take money from the bank with $1 for every person that's still there behind. So if I pick this guy up for money, he goes back, he lays down, he's not active anymore. 1, 2, 3, 4, I would get 4 money from the bank. Okay. If I want to take an action here with a man, it would cost me 1, 2, 3, 4 because there's 4 other people by this card, and you get whatever the bonus here. This one, it's a laurel. There's a bunch of tokens in the game that have numbers 1, 2, and 3 on them, and they come into play in various ways. In this case, I would flip over one of those tokens at random, and I get 1, 2, or 3 points. I add it on the point track up here. Okay. I get buildings. Buildings have special power. Some buildings I can, if I have this building in my array here and I have a guy that I haven't used before, I can choose to put my guy on here, tap it, lay him down, and I get a gem or a crystal. Okay. What are other powers, other things you can do in the game? Well, each round you're going to get a starting income of or an additional income of $2. Okay, if you buy this building, woo, you've just upped your income by 1 level. Okay, next turn I'll get 3, and I'll get 3 for the rest of the game. Okay, there are gems, people, buildings, money, points. Those are all the things that are coming into play in the mix here. So we got other cards. I spin a guy to get a crystal. I get a crystal for free. I spin a guy to get 2 crystals. Spin a guy and 2 crystals for 5 points. I get another guy. Okay, costs 5, but now I have another guy to use for the rest of the game. This one here, I flip over one of those mysterious tokens and I pay $1, $2, or $3 to go up a level in my income. All right, what's on the board here? What are the special powers? This one gives me 1 point for each level of my income that I have. Whatever my income level is, that's how many points I score at the end of the game, up to a maximum of 7. In addition, once per turn, I can use a special power so that I don't pay anything by getting a card. However many people are next to it, I don't have to pay extra. This guy, whenever you pick a guy up to get money, you get 2 extra money. At the end of the game, 1 point for 2 extra money. All right, so we're going to take turns picking up our guys, getting money, purchasing buildings, using the people, getting the special powers. Special powers, when you use them, go to the left of your card, and you don't pay anything extra for them, no matter where you put them or how many you have. Okay, buildings, you pay. Once we've all taken our guys back for the round, we cleared this up here. Okay, whatever cards are left behind, we throw all those away. Okay, we reset this, we turn over a new special power, everyone gets their income for the turn, we all go back to phase 1, and we lay up 9 new cards. Okay, pass the first player mark to the next player, and continue. So, as you might imagine, the whole goal of the game is to build ways to get crystals, convert them into points, use your guys to buy points directly by spending money. You want to get points for the buildings that are left behind. You want to use the special powers, which have in-game scoring. You want to do all this stuff together. Of course, you always want to do all this stuff together. The game lasts 6 rounds. The first 3 rounds, you use this blue deck. Well, you use a deck. For rounds 4 and 5, you use a different deck with slightly more powerful and more expensive cards. And for the final round, you use the final deck, which of course has some buildings that are just worth victory points and some that are awesomely ridiculous. Spend money to get victory points, or crystals get victory points, or whatever it is. You're trying to dump all that stuff at the end game and just go nuts in terms of what you're getting. So that's the basics of the game, where through 6 rounds, you're going to be placing guys and taking guys off the board in order to get buildings and build up your holdings here. Money is extremely tight, where people kept running out, and you'd have to place guys, and then I'll place another guy, and then I hope that other people go in here. And then I may even skip placing my last guy so that I can jump in here, and I'll be like, all right, I'll get 3 money. And now with that 3 money, I can do something else, It was pretty tight in terms of what we were doing here. And it's interesting, too, the idea that you can switch when you want to phase back and forth. One person stuck with 3 people the entire game. I went up to 6, so I had many more to place, but someone else would already be pulling them off before I was placing. I could actually place after someone had already used a person or used something else and got a bonus that way. All right. So that's the gist of the game. Plays supposedly in 45 minutes. Our game was more like 75 first time, with one guy who wasn't quite paying attention all the time. He kept trying to make illegal moves. All right. So other than that, that's the gist of the game. It plays 2 to 5 players. I don't think there are any changes for different number of players. Just the level of competition, and of course the availability of money as you get more and more meeples on the board in order to take money from them when you get up. So hope that works for you. And that's Eric Martin checking out from the floor of the Hilton. If it keeps up with the fire, I guess I'll be asleep in here as well.